Hey everyone, welcome to episode 5. It's Ben and Adila. Thanks for your support so far and for spending your time with us. We very much appreciate you.
Today's episode discusses our challenges with having a healthy work-life balance while we are completing our PhD, mainly focusing on our levels of motivation, procrastination, maintaining a social life, or lack thereof, and tied into all that, our relationship with food and exercise.
Yeah, definitely. And this is a kind of a continued discussion from episode 3 when we discuss our mental health and having support when we need it. It's all part of that balance. If you haven't listened yet to that episode, please do go check it out.
All right, diving right in. So, Ben, how do you try to maintain a healthy work life balance amidst doing a PhD, which, as we typically know, is got a reputation for having quite an intense workload?
That is a tricky question to answer, and I guess a bit subjective as well, what you call healthy. I find that actually setting time, so when you come to work, having those defined times when you're at work doing productive things related to your PhD, that helps a lot, and you can sort of fit in your life around that. But I find that my work level kind of fluctuates as well as the project sort of goes on, as it progresses. So I find that to and fro is in constant adjustment. I find that controlling when I get to work and when I go home, it helps a lot, especially if I stay too long one day. If I think, no, one more thing, it'll keep me there later and it affects how productive I am the next day. So it keeps me accountable for the time that I'm there. It keeps me going with what I'm supposed to be doing that day, make sure that I'm on track with all my goals. And also, when I get home, it means I have enough energy to do other things that aren't work related.
Yeah, we're definitely quite big on having a balance of our work and healthy sort of time off from that as well. So definitely having a good balance of working hours is a big deal, definitely. Yeah. If, for example, some days we were talking about working from home, like if you have a whole heap of data, you don't really need to be here, you may as well, work from home, get comfortable, and maybe you'll find you're a little bit more productive.
Definitely.
Are you quite productive working from home, Ben?
I am. I have a pretty good setup at home. I may take a picture and upload it later.
Oh, yeah, you've got to show us all.
For you tech listeners out there, this might grab you. I find having 2 monitors at home and just having, I don't know, my own set of peripherals, it just makes getting the job done a bit quicker. I have everything set up, and not to mention you're in your comfy clothes and.
Yeah, you'll have your snacks next to you if you like.
Yeah, definitely. It just all adds to push you along. But sometimes I know I've had unproductive days at home, so it's you got to know yourself if you're going to do the work or not.
Keep yourself accountable.
Yeah. How about you? Are you productive at home? What kind of tricks do you do?
Actually, I don't have like a dedicated study space, which like my room is a little bit too small to fit like a desk in at the moment. So usually I don't. So I actually like being in the lab, being in my desk, at my desk doing work, because unless I'm like forced to, I'm not productive at home at all. There's so many other distractions as well. Usually there might be other people in the house, or the cats, or like I'd want to watch Netflix all day in my pajamas. So yeah, I think the home environment is like a place where if I'm home, I know it's switch off time, so it's hard for me to do work.
Yeah, no, that's true. It is good to have that area though, because it is difficult to switch off sometimes.
For sure.
Having that area that you're on or off,
Exactly.
is good. It helps a lot.
Talking about having a healthy balance of time at work and time not at work, what do you think about doing your PhD work or work-related things on the weekends?
Ooh, that's a tricky question because up until maybe the first 2 years, I was like, no work on the weekend. When you get to your third year, work is bound to splash a bit into your weekend, and I've kind of been fighting it a bit, and probably, what is it now? We're in October, so 10 months into my third year, and it started to splash into my weekends. Maybe the last 2-3 weekends I've done 5-6 hours work on Saturday.
But not the whole weekend?
No, definitely no.
And not like crazy all-nighters and stuff?
No. Though sometimes, no. I do sometimes enjoy doing the night stretch. You get that peace and quiet. It's got that nice, I don't know, there's something about so satisfying about doing your work at night. Sometimes it just feels like
Don't you need to sleep? I sleep at like 9 o'clock or something, so I cannot stay up and do that. I think past like 5 o'clock, I'm like, that's it. My brain's like not working today.
Yeah.
Don't ask me anything that requires any thinking because you won't get a coherent answer.
I have days like that. Hang on, going back to that though, you have Korean late on Mondays.
Oh my gosh, that's true. So Korean classes are Monday nights from 7:15 to about 9:15, and sometimes I do like wonder whether this would be so much easier to absorb at 9 a.m. rather than 9 p.m. So yeah, because I'm quite a morning person as well. I think it just depends on you as a person too.
Do you find that you have to go back to that lesson? You find you've missed something because you haven't been 100% on? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she finds ways to make everything really engaging, the teacher, and we've got a class and we play lots of interactive sort of learning games. So that helps. But yeah, there are times where it's just like, I can't absorb anything further than this. Like, I can't take anything in. Like, I'm done. And you do find you have to go back and do your own work. So yeah, definitely a big factor.
That's
I
understandable.
guess it just depends on the kind of person you are. Like, you sometimes prefer to, and I'm like, no thanks. Yeah, I'm quite lucky recruiting and stuff at the moment. It's pretty much like you finish at an appropriate time and you don't really want to stay back when no one else is around to recruit patients if things go wrong and, you know, process the samples in the lab in like the middle of the night. So far, like, I've been doing maybe a bit of reading, a bit of writing on the weekends, but yeah, no, so far so good. But I think you're right. I should have the general expectation that when you get into your second or third year and maybe the workload gets a lot more, you're going to have to put in a lot more time in.
I guess that's the expectation as it goes on, unfortunately.
We're luckier than most, I'm sure. Some people are. I know a couple of friends who are in the labs quite often at really weird hours, early mornings to late nights, and even on weekends as well. I don't know. I think that would just make me really sad.
Yeah.
Watch the day go by and it's like a beautiful Saturday. I don't know, there's something really like sad about it, you know?
Yeah, no, I understand. Doing lab work, you're just looking out the window, watching the world go by, and you're wishing you could be out there doing it all. But
yeah, definitely. So, I mean, I think another thing as well with maintaining this healthy work-life balance is doing things that are outside of our PhD. So you mentioned that I was doing a Korean class. Are you doing anything else outside of...
I'm actually not. It's...
Hang on, no, you go to the gym.
I do go to the gym.
That counts, because last episode you kind of mentioned it was a way of having a balance as well.
It breaks up the sequential work days. If it wasn't for that, I would just be coming here and going home, and it's...
Depressing.
It is.
Let's be real.
I was trying to find a different word, but yeah.
Yeah, same. Yeah, okay. Are you considering, is there anything you want to try?
There have been. I don't know. I recently got an invite to join a rowing club.
A rowing club?
It's at 5:45 on Thursday evenings though, which makes, I don't know, the dash from work to there pretty close, and I'm doubting that I'd make it, especially if it was like Thursday. Like on Friday, I think there's a bit more flexibility. It's just like, look, if I don't get it done today, I can do a little bit on Saturday. You know, maybe I've had a tough week, but...
So this is like on a boat rowing?
Yeah, this is on a boat.
Okay, 5:45. Like it's kind of like on the darker side of the day. Are you going to be rowing in like the...
I don't know. Maybe we're all wearing those miners hats with the lamps. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Okay, so you're not keen on joining, or do you think...
I think I'm going to have to check it out. Maybe there's like those stadium lights or whatever.
Okay, yeah, maybe.
Maybe. I'll have to go check it out, but...
How about other types of social sports? I know a guy now building invites us to like social soccer and social badminton, and we keep saying, yeah, this sounds amazing, one of these days we'll go. Just keep inviting us. At one of those times you're bound to catch us saying yes, but it's been like months now. We haven't shown our face. So
you know what, we'll end up going on like the week before Christmas shutdown or something. That's what will happen.
That's it.
But apart from that, I don't have much really going on outside. I mean, I find that catching up with friends and then the gym, I find that, you know, I need a bit of downtime, a bit of time for me.
A bit of me time.
Yeah. What about you? You mentioned Korean already. You mentioned Duolingo. What else is there? What's going on?
Yeah, so I think I'm a bit similar to you. You gave me some inspiration last week to get back to the gym, get those good habits going. So I've been trying to regularly go as well. So that's always good. Yeah, meeting friends, spending time with family as well. You kind of put aside, your workload for a minute, and you just kind of, say, I'm going to be here, spend time with my family, and just, not worry too much about all the other things I have to do.
Family time is very important.
Yeah. I also do some teaching. I teach some first year human biology classes, and I know that is technically work, but it's work that's not my PhD. So in a way, it's kind of like a stress relief. And when I find myself like procrastinating, at least I can go and do some marking or preparing for a session or a lesson, and that's still kind of productive. And it's always good when you're doing something like a PhD to go back to basics and learn really basic things and teach more basic things, like, the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. And it's actually so refreshing because you're like, oh, finally, things that I know, things I understand, things that are familiar, rather than all this new stuff, which is like, oh my God, what am I doing?
You might find as well, like even going back to the basics, relearning all that stuff and just refamiliarizing it, you might find that, you pick up something that you might have missed in your project, a new angle that you could explore.
100%. And when I say basic, I mean, I don't mean that I claim to know everything. There are still things that I'm continuously remembering and revisiting, and there's still so much to know. But compared to the kind of stuff we're doing now, it's, like a breath of fresh air.
Definitely. I feel like when we do it in our PhD lives, we're constantly learning. We're always on that treadmill of knowledge.
Yeah, right. Cool. Well, we can't talk about a healthy work-life balance and not touch on food and exercise, which is a major factor in our lives. Seeing as we're also cardiovascular researchers, let's see if we practice what we preach.
So Adila, we briefly touched on your exercise habits, but what about the other hand? What's your food and your eating habits like? Are you pretty healthy? How about stress eating? I know that we all go through those tough weeks and we have to...
Yeah. Look, I'm going to have to be honest here.
Lay it on us.
I really don't practice what I preach. Like, it's so easy to say, okay, you got to eat 2 fruits, 5 veggies, and you have to not eat junk food. But in reality, we're all human and we get sucked into advertising and, things that taste really good and fast food. So, yeah, my eating habits lately, especially since being in lockdown as well and having just had winter,
oh my goodness,
I feel like we crave more like kind of comfort food, hot food, takeaways, hearty sort of meals. So I mean, we all come out of winter and lockdown with a couple of extra kilos.
Definitely. Actually, a really good point on the comfort eating. I mean, I found, especially as the weather here has gotten a bit warmer, we've gone into spring, I find that I'm not reaching for the chocolate, I'm not reaching for the cookies as much. I'm finding going to the gym a bit easier. I'm finding that early morning wake up a bit easier as well. It just, I guess, all affects your habits and just your routines.
Yeah, it's about small things, but being consistent. So before, prior to this, you mentioned stress eating. So I'm actually a stress eater, and the things that I go to are not the best things. They're like, chocolates or chips, like super junk foody kind of processed things. Yeah. And I like to snack. So I'm watching TV, and it's probably the worst thing to do actually, snacking and stuff while you're watching TV, because you're quite you're not mindful about what you're eating, and before you know it, oh, how did I finish this whole block of chocolate when I just wanted 1 or 2 blocks? So but like you mentioned, I'm back on track, back at the gym, generally packing my own food for lunch as well, which is something you're really good at too. So generally, when I have a meal, I try and include all major food groups, protein, a bit of carbs, a bit of rice, a bit of veggies as well.
Yeah, you're really good at that, and you even have that accompanying lunchbox with a bit of fruit to follow.
Yeah, I always have a nice little fruit salad if there are any fruits in the house. So that's good. What about you?
I'm pretty good, though maybe I don't encompass all the food groups I should with my Monday to Friday lunch.
I mean, I know you have Zambreros a lot, but I can't even use that against you because Zambreros surely that's healthy food.
I think it is. I mean, out of all the fast food options, I don't know about Subway, with their bread recently being classified as a confectionery.
Really? I didn't hear
Yeah.
about that.
Oh, it's because there's such high sugar content in the bread.
Oh,
So
that's what makes it so good.
I know, right? So maybe Subway salads are the way to go, but Sambreros, I think, are pretty good. I mean, there's rice.
Yeah, a
There's
bit
the
of
pinto
rice, a bit of meat,
beans.
a bit of veggies.
Yeah, you have the guacamole if you've got an extra few dollars.
Oh my god, you have to pay $2 or something, don't you? That's ridiculous.
Except for today.
Is it free today?
Yeah, it's free today.
Yeah, well, people won't know that. It was free last week, guys.
Sorry, everyone.
When we recorded this. Yeah, I think in terms of exercise as well, we should start up what we were doing before, so that because we both have Apple Watches, and you can actually have a competition with someone to track their workouts and how many kilojoules and whether the activity rings are complete. So we should bring those dusty Apple Watches back out and
definitely
start up that competition again. See if that can motivate us.
Yeah, I did get 700% yesterday on my rings though.
700%. Oh, I think you sent me a photo. But guys, that's because he put his kilojoules as your daily goal as 500.
Yeah, that was great.
Which is
I finished my workout with like 300%. I was done for the day.
Oh my god, get to 1,000. I want to see that. Crack 1,000, mate.
Next goals.
But that's a good point actually. When we go to do this, we have to make sure that we both kind of have similar kilojoules.
Yeah, I realized that before actually. We had competitions before, right? But I also had one with my friend at Curtin, and we had a competition. My daily kilojoule was like 2,200. That was my goal. His was like 3,500 or 3,000.
Oh wow!
And he was doing really well. Like he was going to the gym. He had soccer. He had everything going on. He was like exercising some days twice, 3 times a day. But then like he had 1 or 2 days where he didn't close his rings, and I caught up, and I ended up winning by like 50 points.
Oh my god, that is unfair.
But it all comes down to that kilojoule goal.
But I guess which makes sense. It's different for different people based on a lot of different factors. But maybe to make it as fair as possible, we should try and keep it, maybe not that far apart. Something to think about.
Especially as our routines are somewhat similar.
Yeah. So what's your favourite go-to snack food?
This one's actually because of your recommendation.
That's not good. Don't put me on the spot like that.
No, I love it at the same time though. It's those thins.
The digestive biscuit thins with the chocolate.
Oh, they're just so good. The ratio of the biscuit to the chocolate is just perfect.
Yeah, and I always say this, but it's a good snack for when you don't know whether you want a biscuit or you want a chocolate, because it's both.
Or if you want both.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Okay.
Yeah.
Anything else?
The other one is just like chocolate confectionery. It's like the fun size one. My mum's often pretty good at like buying the fun size bags. It comes with like 12, 15 portions.
I know the ones.
And she always has a bowl, and they're just filled with miscellaneous chocolates.
Yep.
And sometimes she'll find like, oh my god, actually there's this Italian bag of chocolates she gets. I don't know where from, but I don't know. I didn't think Italian chocolate could be that good, but when you eat it, it's got like wafer biscuits in it or something, and it's just crispy. But the chocolate is it's so
Chef's
milky
kiss.
on the inside.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's like
That sounds good. You're gonna have to bring some in for us to try.
I have to find some. Like she hasn't got it for a while, but it was so good. It reminds me of the Lint's milk chocolate balls crossed with like, I don't know, your favorite wafer.
Yeah, right. Okay, no,
Yeah.
I know the exact snack bowl you mean. Like it's filled to the brim with chocolates and other things. And we have something like that as well. And it's sitting right in the little kind of coffee table in the TV room. And so essentially you can feel like your eye like wander to it when you're watching TV, and you just kind of go up and you collect a few things, and then like, you just end up snacking the whole time, which isn't great. Yeah, not good at all.
Do you have a few favorites that you'd like to mention from this bowl?
I like everything. Literally all the unhealthy things. That's like what I like. I've been really into, I had this phase actually a while ago, Twix. I would have like a Twix chocolate every day. And I don't mean like a little fun size one. I have the slightly bigger one.
Slightly bigger.
I'm happy to say that's in the past. Every time I have one now, I'm like, these things are so sweet. How did I have one a day? Yeah, just usually whatever we have in the house. And then one day I'll realize how much I've been eating and I'll kind of like have a moment where I have this breakdown and I'm like yelling at my mum. I'm like, Mum, why do we have all these snacks in the house? I'm going to throw them all out. Please don't buy anything. Don't bring anything into the house again.
Yeah.
But then when we're out shopping, I'm like, hey, do you want to try this flavor shapes?
I know.
So it's just so counterproductive. But you know what they say? Don't go shopping when you're hungry because you'll always buy all kinds of things that you don't need.
But if you don't buy it, and when you're at home and you don't have it, I find that you crave it more, and then the next time you have it, maybe you overindulge. Maybe that's just me. I don't know.
Yeah, definitely. Agreed. It's just such a fine balance. Like, you know that you've got to do the right things. And I'm not saying don't have that chocolate bar, but, you know, definitely think about moderating it and really being mindful about what you're eating.
Yeah, definitely.
Which is advice first and foremost to myself.
Going the other way, do you ever find that you reach for something healthy,
Yeah, especially now that the weather is getting warmer, like you said, you don't want as much comfort food. I'm kind of making more salads. And we're really lucky. Mum's a gardener, so she's got lots of veggies growing in our garden. So lots of fresh lettuce, spring onion, you know,
that's so good.
Parsley, coriander. So we kind of chop that up, you know, a couple of other veggies, and like you've got like a nice salad. So that's always fresh. What about you?
Oh, that's so good. I've been finding that I've been incorporating a lot of fruit into my diet lately. I didn't actually realize it until I saw an Instagram story the other day. I'm actually not friends with this guy. He was just like a social influencer, and I was just following him, and he was like at the beach, and he was on the way to the beach, and he was just driving and eating an apple, and I was just like, that can't be satisfying. And then I was like, hang on a minute, I've been eating a lot of fruit this week.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, so it's been good.
So before this, you didn't used to?
No, I did. I just I feel like I eat more now. Like instead of at breakfast, I'll have like a banana and an apple for breakfast. Whereas before, it might have just been a banana like every second day or something. I would have toast instead.
Any other fruits or just bananas and apples recently?
I
can't wait for you to try other fruits out there.
Oh, it's spring here, so I try to eat a lot of mandarins and oranges.
Yeah,
I
think that's in season at the moment, so that's good. Okay, interesting.
There's other fruits I like though, especially when they're on top of pavlova, but that's going backwards a bit.
Okay, small steps, baby steps. We're getting there. Ben, we have a running joke between us that calories don't count on Fridays, so we tend to sort of not really, I don't know, I guess if there's a day where we don't bring our own lunch and we want to go and buy something, like Friday's usually the day. I know the last couple of Fridays after recording, we would head, you know,
well, last week we had Guzman.
We tried Guzman y Gomez actually. That was quite nice. And then what did we have after, Ben?
I had a McFlurry. You had a small sundae.
I had a hot fudge sundae from McDonald's, and it was amazing. But I mean, calories don't count on Fridays, right?
Yeah, or Saturdays or Sundays.
And we're researchers, so maybe you should take our word for it. No, kidding. Really, don't take our word for it. It's just something fun that we sort of.
Yeah, definitely. Don't do it. It's a trap.
Yeah, it's a trap. We regret it the next day.
Yeah, Monday rolls around and we wonder what the hell happened.
We roll around.
Oh no.
So we've talked a lot about our food and exercise habits, but essentially that's sort of just part of the picture. The other part of the picture deals more with, you know, how do we sort of regulate or balance when we have those feelings of procrastination and those really intense fluctuating levels of motivation? And, you know, is there a way that you like to manage your time to get things done? Because like we mentioned in the last couple of episodes, it's not like an undergraduate where you have set deadlines for assignments and exams. We're essentially, you know, in charge of basically making sure that our milestones are met in time and we're doing as much work as possible.
Yeah, definitely. I find that a bit tricky at times myself. I think that one of the techniques that, or at least recently I've taken upon using is keeping yourself accountable. Like that's been my biggest thing, and telling a supervisor or even telling you like what's going on, what's my plan for the next day, what do I need to do by next week, that keeps me going. But that's not always the challenge. I find that even some days I'm just like, oh, I really don't want to go in, or it's this rolls around pretty much weekly on a Monday.
Yeah. Monday-itis.
Yeah.
No, but you're right though.
Even just coming into the office like on Monday, I think that you build it up a lot in your head. When you get to the office and you just sit down and you get on with it, I think that it's not as bad as you think. Like,
Yeah.
you overwork it. You overthink
It's
it.
the kind of pre-thinking and anxiety that's me before I go to the gym. I'm like, oh, I don't want to go. But when you're there, like you go, you do your workout, and then it's done, and you feel so good after.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying after work you'll feel really good, but at least you were there. You showed up, you did your work, and, you know, at least you were productive.
Yeah, you're working towards that goal, getting that done.
I want to build on that because you said to keep yourself accountable, but I think for me, in line with that, have a plan, because planning prevents poor performance.
Yes.
You know, the 4 Ps. So try to make your plan realistic. You know, it helps you set goals for what you want to achieve for the day, for the week, for the year.
Yep.
And, you know, even if you have 2 to 3 things on your to-do list every day and you meet them every day, then that, you know, that pretty much means you're on track. But yeah, make it realistic. Don't have so many little things that you get overwhelmed.
Yep.
You know, pick 2 to 3 big tasks and deadlines, prioritize that you want to get done, and that will definitely help you meet your aims, meet your goals, helps with time management as well. So I'm a big planner. I love to-do lists. Do you make to-do lists?
I do. It's become... I never used to. It's a recent thing for me. But before then, I didn't find that I had this issue. I just sort of came in, did what I had to, and that was it.
That is so weird. I can't understand people like that, because in my head, I feel like I have so many things building up. Okay, I need to write down what I have to do. So I'll write it down on my phone, in my notes. I'll write it down on scrap pieces of paper. I've got a little whiteboard on my desk. I'll write it down on that as well. Like anything to get it out of my head, you know. I can't believe people are out there walking around just getting on with their day without a to-do list. That's astounding.
There is a bit of satisfaction though to scribbling it out when you're done, or like writing it out, ticking that box, whatever it is. There's so much satisfaction with that.
Oh, I think for me it's just uncluttering my mind. Like I'm such an overthinker, as I'm sure you know by now. It's just it helps to just get as much out of my head as possible. I wish I could get out of my own head sometimes. It's just too much. And I think it's important as well, Ben, to realize not just as PhD students, but for everyone in all walks of life, that their levels of motivation will go up and down. And I had a really bad last couple of weeks actually, where the motivation was just constantly down. But a couple of days ago, it was like this dark cloud lifted, and I could finally see, you know, like those levels of motivation going back up, and things weren't as much of a struggle. So that was really good. But yeah, it was really low slump for a while, but it's normal. That's completely normal.
Yeah, it is. You just got to make it through, get to the other side, and
just got to find ways to cope.
Manage and deal with it.
Yeah, manage, definitely.
And
having a plan will help.
Oh, going back to that plan, actually, that was one of the techniques I used to get over my Monday-itis a bit. Like, I dread Sunday night, go to bed thinking, oh no, I have to go to work tomorrow. I have to get up. I have to do this. I find that, you know, just don't think about the process of going to work. Think about what you're going to do first thing. What's your sequence? What are you going to do when you get there?
Interesting.
And I find that before you realize it, you're at work and you're doing that thing already. And then before you realize it, again, you've already finished that task, you're on to the next, and you're on a roll. Your Monday's nearly over, and you've already ticked off a few things.
I'm going to try using that from now on.
Yeah. Monday-itis, cured.
Cured, done. Try it out, guys. See if it works for you.
Yeah.
Usually in my head as well, if I know that a particular day is going to be quite stressful, like if I have a presentation coming up, or if I don't know, something really big is happening, in my head my like motto would be, okay, get in, get out, like, you know, just get whatever you need to do done.
Definitely.
And then the day will eventually end, and you'll find that maybe it wasn't as bad as what you were hyping it up to be as well.
Another really good motto there.
Yeah.
Get in, get out.
Get in, get out. Like literally,
yeah,
that's like the first thing on my to-do list every day. It's like get in, get out. So we've talked a lot about keeping ourselves accountable, having a plan, the fact that, you know, motivation levels will fluctuate and that's normal. Just have to find a way to manage, and having a plan and keeping yourself accountable will help with that. What other things? I think in our previous couple of episodes we mentioned like rewarding yourself. You know, when you get those big tasks done, or you had a really bad week but you got through it, like reward yourself, however small it is. when you make your aims and complete your tasks.
Definitely. Celebrate it. Go have something to eat.
Yeah.
Go back to our food segment a few minutes ago.
Yeah, oh, we love talking about food.
But yeah, or even just plan something. Go to the movies, see something you know you're looking forward to. Even just an episode of TV tonight.
Yeah,
Anything.
definitely. Um, it's normal to have those ups and downs. It's just part and parcel of our journey, really. Find something that works for you. Think outside the box. Ask your friends and family what they do. Maybe it's a technique that works for you as well. And one other thing which we talked about previously is a change of scene. So, if you're lucky enough like us to work in a building where if you're not being 100% productive at your desk, we could always, use our laptop and work in another part of the building which has a nice table, chair set up, or, a free meeting room, or even outside.
Yeah, anywhere you get work done, or even if at home. We touched on this before. As long as the work's getting done,
Yeah.
set the time, set your tasks, get it done.
Move from the bedroom to the lounge room. Turn the TV on.
Oh dear.
Yeah. And even like you said, sometimes if you're not productive at home, go to a cafe. Sometimes it's just the right level of white noise for you to be able to get work done.
Yeah, or even if it's just that right cup of iced coffee that gets you going, or that bowl of wedges.
With aioli, of course.
Yes. So good.
Superior dressing. Sauce, should I say. Condiment. Anyway, I digress. We move back to food. So yeah, definitely our advice would be find something that works for you to help you deal with procrastination and motivation and time management.
I think that's all we got.
Are you sure? Okay, I think this is a good place as any to wrap up, Ben.
It's never a good time to wrap up, Ben. Leave me unwrapped, please.
So to summarize, we hope that you guys have gotten a couple of ideas and tips on how to maybe have a more healthy eating, exercise sort of habit, and also dealing with procrastination and fluctuating levels of motivation.
Yeah, keep that balance healthy. Next week, we'll have another guest on the show, Mr. John Woo Kim, a master's student working on a tissue engineering project. Tune in then to hear more about him and his exciting project then.
Until then, thank you so much for tuning in. See you next week.
Bye.
If you'd like to get involved, drop us your questions and your queries. Let us know what you'd like to hear on the show. And you can find us on our Instagram at SoYouThinkYouCanPhD. And there's a link to our email there as well. Thank you so much. See you next week.
Bye.